We're going to start off fall this Friday, and we have some nagging things that are keeping us from being full strength right now. I'm really excited about this group. When we start out Friday, we're not going to have a Brett Pirtle who has to go home and watch his brother get married. We're not going to have a Woodruff just yet. We're not going to have a Ben Bracewell just yet. Not 100% sure if we're going to have a Kyle Hahn just yet, who's been battling some illness for whatever reason. Our entire club is, not our entire club, but a lot of our kids are battling flu stuff during the course of the week. So might be a sparse group to start out the fall, the official part of the fall, which is a shame when you consider how hard they worked in the last 2 months to get to this stage in the weight room and conditioning and in their skill work. So we're excited about this. I think it really gives us the opportunity to showcase our younger kids. Our kids are ready to play inter-squad games because they've been doing so much drill work and again, strength and conditioning. So this is the fun part for them. And it's a little later than we're used to. And, of course, we just got the construction on the field done, which is going to make our lives a lot easier. So it's an exciting time for us, and our kids are ready to get going.
When we talked a few weeks ago, you talked about gave kind of a timeline on Bracewell and Woodruff. Has that changed any since?
Yeah, I think Bracewell's probably. We would love to see him pitching in a game situation a week into the fall, so maybe a week from this coming Friday. Don't know about Woodruff's situation. His bullpens have been fabulous. You know, the ball's really coming out of his hands well. I think he's, just done a great job on his rehab, and I think he's gonna be great. I just don't know when he's gonna actually get to face hitters when the doctors are gonna let him do that.
With how close y'all came last year, did you see an even added sense of work ethic and stuff from the guys this fall?
Yeah, I think it'd be hard for them to work any harder than they did a year ago. I mean, they put a lot into it, and but we do have tremendous leadership on this team. The Brett Pirtles, the Wes Reas. Some of the guys who didn't play a tremendous amount last year, some of those guys, C.T. Bradford's been a great leader and really has had a great fall so far. So we have some guys that we feel like are doing a great job leading this club, especially, positionally. I think we had more, older leadership guys on the mound last year, and I think it's more of a positional player type leadership this year.
You talk about the summer some guys had, and you were able to rest some guys too that needed to kind of take some time off.
Yeah, I think Hahn went out and had a great summer. Robson went out and had a great summer, among others. I think Matthew Britton's somebody who's come back and really made a decision that he wants to play and be in that battle for a middle infield spot. And certainly, I think he's one of the better defenders on our team, maybe one of the best defenders in our league when he's at his best. And he has really improved so much, become a more physical player. He went out and did a great job this summer. And I'm just mentioning a couple. So really, really proud. I think, from a pitching standpoint, I think we didn't send as many guys out because some of those guys needed some rest. Certainly a Holder needed some rest. He took some time off, and Woodruff coming off his surgery. We did have several guys rehabbing during the course of the summer.
How do you feel about catcher, John, and what's the plan for those guys in the fall, just to see how they shake out and what you can do with who you can do it with?
It's going to be a battle behind the plate, and we feel like we have several good candidates. Certainly, our returning guys have gotten a lot better, and the two new guys that we have in the fold are guys who are very, very talented. So we have a lot of competition going on behind the plate, and I think each one of those guys brings kind of something different to the table. I think, Garner is probably the best hitter out of that group, but he's come a long way, behind the plate. Randolph is a guy who is a really solid guy all the way around. No jump out at you tool, but certainly somebody who's a great leader and been around some great catchers. Collins is a young guy who from Southern California who we feel like is, the future. But how quickly can he? It's kind of like the quarterback in football. How quickly can the freshman quarterback step onto the field and have things not moving too quick for him. But I think he's certainly a contender, and, he has as much upside as any freshman catcher I think we've had here in a long time. Cody Walker is a junior college transfer who can really catch and throw. That's his strength, and he brings that to the table. So I think I haven't counted anybody out, and it's kind of exciting to see who's going to be able to step forward this fall.
Same question, kind of when we look at the shortstop position. How do you feel about that coming forward?
Well, I think, Han has done really well. The junior college transfer Hack is somebody who's been very, very impressive early on here in the first 2 months. Britt has been great. Pearl is certainly a consideration, although he's coming off some elbow issues that he's got to get addressed before we can move him to the left side. It's really tough with Pearl because you just don't want to move him from a position that you feel like he excels in. But we do feel like we have 4 really strong candidates to play shortstop and second base. And certainly Detsy is somebody at third base that's come a long way defensively. And Reed Humphreys is a freshman who, again, brings, he's the future. He's coming off, I think he's 15 months off of his Tommy John surgery, and how quickly he can progress is going to determine how much playing time he's going to have as a freshman.
Are there any guys that you're going to want to single out that you want to see them make strides this fall that, going into this season, they're guys you're singling out?
Well, Woodruff is somebody who's really important because Woodruff at his best is a dominant, top-level professional prospect type of guy, and we want him to be one of those guys. Lindgren has been phenomenal this fall. We really, the way he has changed the nature of his body has been really impressive. I don't think he is, it's not that he didn't take it seriously before, but I think he has a sense of urgency now that's been really impressive. He was throwing balls 96, 97 miles an hour when he was doing his pull-downs the other day, so he's been very impressive. So, yeah, we need our older guys to be older guys. That's the key to winning in this league is you have to have older guys step forward and say, it's my turn, and I'm going to step forward. When you have a shortstop last year had 107 hits, and you start going, who's going to be the guy who's going to have 107 hits? Well, that's tough because nobody in the history of Mississippi State baseball has had 107 hits. How do you replace Hunter Renfroe? Well, I don't know if there's ever been a player in the history of this program like Hunter Renfroe. I don't know many in the history of the Southeastern Conference who have been like Hunter Renfroe. So those are going to be difficult guys to replace, but certainly we feel like we have very good candidates.
John, when we talked about before, when Joey Sonorski makes the decision he makes, it's to play. So how important is this fall for somebody like him who, age-wise should be still be in high school, but now is at a higher level? Yeah,
I don't. I think Joey is a young man who has a very high ceiling, very skilled player. But fall's important for everybody, especially the new guys getting acclimated. For the freshman hitter, it's all about can they see spin? Can they read the breaking ball? Can they have quality at bats? Is it how fast is the game moving for them? I think it's certainly easier in the outfield because the game doesn't get to you as quickly as it can in the infield and behind the plate. But yeah, I think Joey has a very bright future. Like Hunter Renfroe at 25 at-bats, as a freshman, we just don't know. You don't know how much playing time any of these guys are going to get, but the fall gives you a pretty good indication of where they stand. So, it's so exciting to start this late after we've done so much drill work on Friday and get 5 or 6 weeks into it and then be able to make some better decisions.
Thank you for your time.
So you're going to sort of take on more of a leadership role. What's it sort of like to, go into that position this season?
It's going to be exciting. We got a very good class that just came in, and they have a lot of talent. So just to be able to use my time here to try to help them and encourage them and teach them what it's going to take. Everybody that comes here, they start here and they got the same skill level as everybody else in the conference, especially when you're playing the SEC. So just trying to prepare them, get them ready for conference play.
Obviously, you guys lost a lot of production off the thing, but like you mentioned, you lost a lot of leadership too with Adam and Hunter and guys like Kendall. Talk about guys having to step up into that role too.
Oh yeah, and that just I think we have the players, the maturity to step up and take their place. Kendall and Chad and Poyo, they were great leaders, but so are Jonathan Holder and Trevor Fitz and even the younger guys from last year, Miles, he's a leader, and we're gonna fill that role and get back to where we want to go.
Is a beard rule still kind of staying with Cohen?
Yeah, I guess so. This is as good as I got. So I got to mature in that area.
As close as y'all came last year, did it leave y'all even more hungry going into the offseason to get back to Omaha and take that next step?
Yeah, absolutely. We've all tasted it. Every team in the country, that's their goal, to go to Omaha. And only 8 teams get to, and once you get there, you know what it takes. And I think we have the same talent this year, and we can get right back there and hopefully finish it off this time. So.
What's your objective for the fall, just as a veteran and just, individually?
For me, I'm just going to try to catch up. I won't be able to play any this fall, so I'm just going to try to, help the team out any way I can and just encourage players to, fight for that spot and try to make them better.
Any other questions for us?
The big news is now you don't have Evan in the bench spot. Who do you replace him?
That's what the fall's for. Every day is a tryout. I'm going to be keeping my eyes open, and hopefully Evan will come back and give a speech, and we'll get the team in there, the new guys, and tell them what bench mob's all about and tell them how to contribute. So the whole fall is going to be a tryout, and it's going to be some tough shoes to replace, but we'll do the best we can.
I can't rap. First stages of early deer season gone.
Oh, it's going great. We've got an awesome group of young guys that came in here. As you saw, they're, ranked second in the nation, and as far as I can tell, they've proven that. We've got a bunch of good guys that are getting the hang of stuff right off the bat. I mean, it's kind of different from things you've seen in the past. I think you can really tell in my 4 years here, this is one of the most athletic group of young guys we've had. So, things are starting to click a lot sooner, and we'll be able to get a lot more done because of that.
It seems like the last couple of years, you guys have become accustomed to that, to having a good group of leaders, mixing in the young guys. It seems kind of been the trend the past couple of years. It turned out pretty good.
Yeah, it is, and that's just a credit to our coaching staff and how hard they work. We're practicing 5 days a week, but, the other 2 days, Coach Minge and Coach Thompson are on the road finding guys, and that's just what it takes. And credit to them, time away from their family, but if that's what it takes, that's what it takes, and they're willing to do that for us.
Last year's team seemed to have a special chemistry. Is that chemistry created now?
It begins now, and then when we start getting into the games this Friday, it'll start even more. But it really develops kind of when everybody knows their role. So something like that is going to be determined when we start playing real ball games against competition, and everybody's going to know their role within the first 3 or 4 weeks of the season. And then everything after that kind of falls into place as far as team chemistry, and everybody knows their place and knows how to do things and when to do them. So it's a really good group of guys that get along great. But as far as being as close and as entertaining and fun as we were last year, that's going to take place probably when the season gets here.
That may take more rebuilding than actually rebuilding the lineup, that chemistry.
Yeah, I actually think the bench mob, the 2 players that we have left, are having a tryout for the third position for it. So I think Evan Mitchell is going to get a Skype interview with the tryout list since he's in instructs, and they're going to have to throw a few lines out and see if they pass Evan Mitchell's test and fulfill that role.
How's your knee?
Oh, it's great. It was really bad that next day, game 2, but we took care of that, and then I was here this summer working out, and it was fine all summer, so that was never really an issue.
What's your objective, player like yourself, objective for the fall? It's kind of a been here, done that situation for yourself, but are you just trying to pick out a couple of things to get a little bit better at?
Yeah, guys, my year to get drafted and everything, and you want to talk about stuff like that. Guys want to see me hit with a little more power, so that's going to be one of the things that I work on, trying to just do that on a daily basis and figure out what I need to do to do that day in, day out. And but more than less, be a role model and just guide these younger guys that are going to help our club win ball games that necessarily haven't been here yet. So I'm going to have to take those guys and show them what it takes, because I feel like we have a lot of guys on this team that can be examples of what it takes.